Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Capricorn, July 16th to the 31st, 2021, Capricorn. July 16th to the 31st, 2021, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Capricorn, July 16th to the 31st, 2021, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Capricorn, July 16th to the 31st, 2021, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Capricorn, July 16th to the 31st, 2021, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Cups. There's a heartbreak that's being healed, something traumatic that has happened where there's a cleansing, and that's beautiful, that's exciting. Then we have the Hierophant, Taurus energy, and the world. We are claiming our strengths and being rebirthed into the world. We have the Page of Pentacles, which is us. We are students during this time. And the Tower, we're the students of how to plant after chaos, after our world has been rocked in a very powerful way. And then we have the Knight of Wands and the Five of Pentacles, moving forward after a poverty time. The Five of Pentacles is a poverty mentality, feeling out in the cold as if, what I wanted, I just couldn't achieve, or I would get so close and then get denied. And so this is a time of great healing, and this is also a time of great, it's like conquest, but not of anybody, but it's of the soul. So let's see what the chakra energy is. Capricorn, July 16th to the 31st, 2021, Capricorn. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Determination. That really does sum it up quite beautifully. It's the solar plexus chakra. We are determined. We are the salmon swimming upstream. We are absolutely determined to get to where it is that we want to be, to embrace, to see, to gain an understanding, and to push ourselves forward in a very real way. And this determination, it's not a path for everyone. So people will be looking at us and being like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you heading in this direction? What is it that this is all for? And it's for something intrinsically powerful and beautiful for us as an individual. And it moves us then to the energy we need to be mindful of. What is the energy that Capricorn needs to be mindful of? July 16th to the 31st, 2021. Capricorn, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And that's Freyalt. This is Sagittarius energy. And we have to be mindful of the hope of it. That sounds odd to say. But there can be a person around us, or, that we're listening to, that is saying, look this way, do this thing, and it works for them. But it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. And that's the thing that we have to understand as human beings. And it can be the thing that's very hard to understand. It's like, if it works for one person, doesn't mean that it's going to work for another. And this is going to be a time where we could be listening to somebody who's astoundingly successful, but they did what was right for them. And we have to do what's right for us, taking the bits of knowledge, the determination, the focus, the energy that they had to succeed, and incorporating that in our lives is going to be beneficial. But we have to be very mindful not to sit there and think, oh, well, if they say it's true, just because they are successful in whatever field they are in, then it means it has to be true. And it can be going against what is innately true for yourself. And that's what we have to be mindful of, giving somebody just a little bit too much credit and a little bit too much power. It moves us to the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a heartbreak card. It is three swords stabbed in our hearts: heartbreak, pain, disappointment, hurt, despair. And this is us saying, enough is enough. Enough of the heartbreak, enough of the pain, enough of the disappointment. And we're looking at the pains that have shaped us, because we're all shaped by pain and beauty and laughter and tears and everything in between. And so the Three of Swords comes and it forces us to look at that pain that is holding us back, to look at the jealousies that we have within us, the dreams that we want to achieve, and say, I'm taking you out. I'm taking you out. Heartbreak and hurt and disaster. And now you become a weapon for me to use. Because the Ace of Cups is this beautiful healing, this beautiful energy that washes through us and over us and with us, and is just a beautiful, powerful part of us during this time. It is the power of our hearts to move our souls forward. It is a power of our hearts to be healed and cleansed and to really embrace our beauty. And there's a peace and there's a passion and there's a brilliance to us that comes forward. But during this time, it's very much a release. It's very much a release into something that is far more beautiful, far more opened than we could have been before. And this washing away, it's like having a stain on your clothes, right? And soaking it and seeing that stain kind of just bleed out and dissolve from the clothing. That's what this time is for us. And it's this heartbreak that has defined us for so long, this hurt. And it can be around money. It can be around our passion, the way that we thought our lives were going to go, and the place that we find ourselves. And we're like, I don't know exactly how I got here or why I am here. And it moves us to the Hierophant. It moves us to saying, what is intrinsic for us? What is the part of us that we cannot turn away from? The Hierophant is also the marriage card in the Major Arcana. What are we married to? What is our desire that opens up our world for us? And it can be marriage for some who listen, absolutely. But for others, it's this stubborn tenacity. It's a sense of, this is my grandeur and this is my greatness and this is the part of me that needs to be seen. And it is empowering and it is invigorating and it is, intoxicating in ways that people cannot understand. Because this is the purpose why I was put on this earth. And the purpose that we were put on this earth for all of us, when we boil it down, is to heal from pains that have defined us for too long. Too many lifetimes, too many generations, too much hurt has come forward. And this is a time where we're going to see ourselves reborn. We're going to see ourselves claiming the world anew. Because the world right here, and this very much looks like the birth canal, comes forward. And we embrace blessings. We start to rejoice in the world. We start to see ourselves differently in the world. And we start to say, I can do this. I can embrace this. I can be this. I can embody what I dream. And it guides us in a way that we hadn't expected. And it leads us to something beautiful and also undefinable. We start to look at ourselves in the world a bit differently. And again, we can't define why, but it's because, well, we can in a sense, because we're going back to, this is my power. This is why I was born. And we tend to think that it has to be something grandiose. If everybody doesn't know my name, if it's not, blazing in lights everywhere or anywhere, it doesn't mean anything. But that's the thing. That's the thing that's wrong for us and what our world is peddling us. The quietness of life has intrinsic value because it is existing, because it is living and it is breathing and it has its own story. It might not be an action-packed story, but it can be one of those quiet books that you read or quiet TV shows, movies that you watch that just bring you a sense of calm. They can be sad stories, they can be brilliant stories, but it's the individual story and the space that they take up that's important. To say that I stood, I stand, and I live. That is a miraculous thing. And that's what we're starting to see here. The power of the individual, the power of who we are, and not everybody else's expectations, but our own desires and hopes. And it brings us to being a student of our passion, of the seeds that divinity has given us to plant, of our desires and our gifts, and not to hoard them away, but to say, how do I learn with this? How do I grow with this? How does it define me and how do I define it? How is it moving me forward and where is it moving me towards? And it brings us to the tower, because our life is about the tower. It's about those moments where we fall. I mean, here she's impaled, which it's gruesome, but it's the times where life just absolutely shocks us and shakes us and stirs up our heart. What have we learned? What have we learned from the moments that blindsided us? What have we learned from the moments that stole away our joys? And how do we move ourselves forward? Towers are not bad times. They can be bad times, yes. A tower time is a time where divinity says, you're changing. And I'm taking you out of your comfort zone. I'm taking you out of, what makes you feel safe and secure. And I'm putting you in a place that makes you grow. Because we are diamonds. Or at least we're becoming diamonds. And how a diamond is made is by a piece of coal being put under a tremendous amount of pressure for a tremendously long period of time. And that diamond, that potential diamond, can crack. That piece of coal can crack and become part of the earth, and that'll be that. And that's fine. But when that piece of coal doesn't crack, and it takes all that pressure, it becomes a diamond. And diamonds are hard. Diamonds are strong. But there's also a warning here that divinity just said, don't be too hard. And don't always think you have to be too strong. Because the vulnerability, the childlike wonder, that's important. It's important for the heart. It's important for the expression of self. It's important. And it leads us to the Knight of Wands. It leads us to the ability to charge forward. There's also going to be there could have been this intoxicating person around us that is you know what, you just follow me. It's almost like a snake oil salesman is what I'm really seeing here. You just follow me, you just listen to what I say and how I say it, and you will be prosperous. But they're never prosperous. There's always this poverty around them, this despair around them. So that's something to be very mindful of. This person who's charging forward with one dream after another and no follow through. So do be mindful of that. But the Knight of Wands here is also a sense of our passion guiding us. And it's guiding us out of the poverty mentality, out of the standing in the cold, looking in at all the wonders, at all the beauty. Because this is a time where it's enough is enough. I've had enough, and I get to be the star of my show. I get to embrace fully, honestly, and absolutely who I am and what I want. And it doesn't have to be loud, and it doesn't have to be showy. It can be very quiet. But what it does is healing the pain, the hurt, the despair. the despondency. And the repeat of the number 5 that's here is showing us that this is a time of freedom, but also a time of great change. And so it brings us to our chakra energy. Our subconscious chakra energy for this time is inspiration, the sacral chakra, which is one of my favorite chakras because it's so complex. The sacral chakra is where our creative and sexual energy is held. So it's wonderful. But it's also where our trauma and our drama from this life and past lives are held. And so we have these beautiful blessings, but we have everything getting all mucked up within it. And so with the sacral chakra here, what we're doing is being inspired to embrace the erotic, beautiful aspect of our lives, not just in sexuality, but in the expression of self and soul and what we desire and where we want to be, bringing back the erotic, bringing back the beautiful, bringing back the wonderment, and being able to see the dawn coming, the beauty, the intensity, and the power of it. And that then starts to feed our creativity. But we can't feed our creativity when life just has us tired and overwhelmed and feeling completely out of sorts. And it moves us to the energy that we have to be mindful of, and that's the Lord. Now, it can be literally people lording things over us, but it's also the sense that others know more than me. Others may be more powerful, and yes, other people do know more in certain areas, but never give away your power. There's going to be a time during this period where it just seems like if I let this person, they'll be able to answer all the questions, to do everything right, to make everything good. And nobody else can guide us the way that we can guide us when taking in the information, letting things ruminate, sit, and gaining the understanding, and then taking the power, saying, this is my power, this is my purpose, this is my beauty, this is my passion that guides me. And it brings us then to our subconscious rooted energy, which is the 8 of Wands. We have the change of the heart coming in. And now, at our root, subconsciously, we know that a change is coming. We can be afraid because the last change that we've been through rocked our world and was too intense and too much. But this is saying, again, ready or not, here it comes. We're going to be swept away by something. We're going to be swept up in something. We have to make sure that it is for... Okay, so sometimes we get swept up in things. Even when they're not for our betterment, they teach us lessons that we just had to learn. But this is a time where we have to make sure that what we're being swept up in is like our battle, and we're not being swept up in somebody else's battle, somebody else's trauma drama, because that's going to be very important. And again, this is just going to be a hot-headed person, a person who can be, if they're a lover, they're just like so passionate. They're so passionate. They're so wonderful, at the sensual part of it all, but at the follow through, at the love, at the heart connection, they're not very good at that. So do be mindful. The subconscious inner self, the 4 of Cups. Divinity is handing us a gift. God, source, spirit, however see it. That doesn't feel like a gift. It can feel like an extra burden. It can feel like, I wanted this and I got that. Like, what the heck? Like, I wanted an apple and all I got is a whole bunch of oranges. Like, what the heck is going on here? This is going to be a time where we need to look at the gifts that are around us, or at least everything that we are supposed to be carrying, and see its purpose within our existence, within our hearts. Because everything is there for a reason. And this is a time that really shows us this. Our subconscious emotional energy is the 6 of Pentacles. Things need to be balanced. There's also a sense of gifts coming forward out of tragedy, but there's also a sense here that I need things to be balanced. It can't just be giving, and taking. There needs to be a harmony. There needs to be a brilliance to this. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self, and that's, again, the Ace of Cups. This is God, source, spirit, again, however you see the divine, the universe, healing us, taking our emotions, and washing away so much of the baggage that we carry, so much of what pulls us down, And we see that within our sacral chakra. The blessings come, but the sexual energy, the creativity, the erotic enjoyment of life, but also then the hurt and the pain that we carry, not just from this existence, but from every existence that we've been incarnated in. And this is going to be a time where we start to see that healing. This can make tears astoundingly easy to come by. You can just find yourself being a little bit weepy during this time, wanting a good cuddle, wanting somebody who understands, who sees. That's going to also be very important. We're going to be very drawn to people who we think see us. And what we have to be very mindful of is that they're just not seeing our vulnerability and not seeing the power and the beauty and the intention of our soul during this time. Because they will play off our vulnerability if we're not careful. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the healing that is to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn.